If you look at the Africans in the Democratic Party, now I'm not a Democrat. I've never voted in my life in the Democratic Party, and I never vote in the Democratic Party. It's racist and it's capitalist to the core. This is understood. And I shed my blood. I shed my blood for the vote now. I want to make that clear. Some people get confused. The vote for me has never been the road to liberation. It's only the means of organizing my people. I know that. I've seen, I was a young man in Harlem when they disbarred Adam Clayton Powell. Harlem had no representation. We continued to eat and sleep and take drugs and continue life just like always when Julian Bond was elected, when we were young and SNCC in Atlanta, Georgia, and they refused to seat him because of his position against the war in Vietnam. The Africans in that area, his congressional district, continued life just as we've not been having any mayors, and we've been having life, and even with the mayors now, the quality of life has not improved at all. So I've known the vote is never what? You vote for once in 4 years and that's your political responsibility? That's the height of bourgeois propaganda, making the people politically irresponsible, thinking their irresponsibility is limited to a one-day vote. Well, politics is every day of every minute. You have to be aware of what's going on, not voting on one day. So the vote has never meant anything. So I'm not a Democrat. But one thing is clear. Jesse Jackson, undeniably, has done more for the Democratic Party than any other African in this country. This is an objective fact. More than Ron Brown, certainly. More than Vernon Jordan, certainly. For the Democratic Party, I'm speaking. Because every African that Jesse registers is by definition an African. I understood this even in my early days for SNCC. I said, look, we're working for the Democratic Party. I said, I don't do that. Yeah, man, I'm a revolutionary. I can't work for the Democratic Party. But every African you registered is voting Democrat. That's the rule. So this man, Clinton, comes to power and thinks that he can decide which African he will deal with. He's going to get his own Africans. He thinks he's going to tell us which African he's going to impose upon us. I say, I'm not a member of the Democratic Party, but I know if Jesse Jackson has less power than every other African Democrat in this country, he has more influence over voting Democrats than any other African in the country.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Who's speaking now, Kamala? What's popping? My friends, my family. Who is speaking now, Kamala? Who is speaking now? Are the genocidal liberals? Who are just now? They just now coming to the conclusion, fam. My brother Niko. They're just now coming to the conclusion that it's a bad idea to run a general election while you're slaughtering thousands of children.
Yeah. I don't know why they thought that was going to be an effective campaign strategy. Like, you couldn't even lie. You couldn't even lie. You couldn't even lie. Like, y'all, that's the problem with the Democrats. They don't lie like they used to, man. That's why I keep telling them, like, bro, you can't even lie consistently. You run 2 campaign ads for 2 different groups of people regarding the same issue on the same weekend. Like, social media don't exist. Like, we weren't going to find out. Y'all can't even lie right anymore. Oh, I do got to say something, though, about that speech, and specifically about Jesse Jackson. So I don't know if you know, I was on the show of the daughter of Jesse Jackson the other day. And she actually said kind of something similar to what my man here just said. Basically, the reason that he ran as a Democrat is because no matter how hard he tried, he was saying black people, especially in that like evangelical community that basically is like at that time was the foundation of the Democratic Party's black base, they did not want to leave the party, no matter how hard he tried to convince them they weren't for him. And so like
starting to change.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, he tried. She was like, yeah, no, like she was critical. Like, she had criticisms of her own father, which I respect. But she was like, yeah, like, nah, she said, I probably would have handled it differently. But like, I get it at the time because you don't have social media. It was a lot harder to organize being a member of the church and then like wanting to have that because he had a lot of responsibility on him to help the black community. And basically the Democratic Party was trying to relegate him into nothingness if he didn't, and using black people to do so if he didn't run and campaign and participate in Democratic Party activities. So he is absolutely right about what he said regarding Jesse Jackson being the biggest help to the Democrats until Barack Obama came.
Yeah. And you guys know after tonight, because now apparently liberals are like fantasizing about putting Arabs and Latino men in concentration camps.
Bro.
You have all these black men taking all these strays, Niko. And you know what? The happiest motherfucker right now is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is smoking a fat pack right now.
With the MAGA hat on, bro. I know. Bro, that's what I said. See? That's how you know Kamala doesn't know her foreign policy. She wasn't even fit to be president because if she knew her foreign policy, she would know how Biden treats prosecutors who piss him off. Because remember what he did to that prosecutor in Ukraine who tried to prosecute him and get his son off of the border of Burisma. He fired the shit out of that motherfucker. And Kamala is another prosecutor on that list now.
Bro, and Niko, the way that liberals are fucking furious at Joe Biden. I just saw, and I was doing a lot of prep before my show.
Oh, dog, I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, this is something I don't got prepared because I just saw it live on TV. While I was doing prep for the show, I saw a segment on CNN where they said Joe Biden has a lot to answer for. And they brought up how Joe Biden not dropped. Remember how Joe Biden said he was going to be a transitionary candidate? Bro, I have never seen, and I really hope they post this segment, bro, because I saw it on TV, so I don't have it ready online. And I really hope they post this segment because I never ever seen the corporate media drag Joe Biden like this ever in my life. They was like, Joe Biden said in 2020 that he's going to be a transitionary candidate. So we'll be in way better position right now, and we was allowed to have a primary candidate and not have Kamala. And bro, they are saying this on TV right now, guys. Like,
ain't no way. Ain't no way they just said he would have allowed us to have a primary.
Go ahead, Niko. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, there's no way they just said if he would have allowed us to have a primary. I know. Yes. As the Democrats organized to make sure, they literally passed laws.
You guys gotta believe my word right now because I don't have the clip, but I swear to God, they had a whole ass segment where they were dragging Biden because he's blocked the ability of Democrats to have a proper primary. Now it's also bullshit, and I would love to show it to you guys so I can show you guys why they're kind of full of shit too because they facilitated that. But they were like. They cast the entire blame on Joe Biden.
They were they were saying that there was no primary. Like there's nobody else running the primaries. Like there's a whole list of people on the. You can look at the ballots. There's a list. There's a list of people. There's RFK. There's Marianne Williamson. Like there was random ass motherfuckers running. Like that's crazy, bro.
Bro, and guys, we are 12 hours away. I have limited sleep. I slept for 3 hours. I did a hotspot this morning too. So I went to sleep at 3 a.m. I was up at 2 a.m. with Savvy Sav. Woke up at 7 a.m. did my hotspot. So I got limited sleep. I did like 2 shows earlier today. So I'm going through some things I saw earlier today. And I see a lot of cope. And right now, you guys know I never covered The View. But The View is peak comedy right now. We're seeing the greatest political comedy of our time. Right? Like the Jake Yeager meltdown, guys. I don't know how much time we have, but this is going to be a glorious week because the chickens are coming home to roost. Can you imagine, Niko, before I show this video, can you imagine being a progressive and throwing away your entire credibility, supporting genocide, only for you to end up with Donald Trump anyway? You have David Doe that fucking quit. Like these people who raised quit.
Did he actually quit?
Look, you see this? Look, here's David Doe who blocked RBN. He blocked everyone on RBN.
A while ago.
I have no desire to discuss this or really any news or politics anymore. Bro, this shit lives are quitting out. There's no way I could have properly prepared myself for how glorious this meltdown is being. So David Doe is now looking for ordinary work. He race quit. Now, doesn't this say anything about him, Niko? Because I thought you guys said Donald Trump was a fascist. So you tell me that take charge and you give up? Shouldn't you guys be storming the Capitol right now? Motherfucker, I'm the liberal January 6th.
Here's the problem with David Doe. This is what makes him rage quitting after this particular situation is so hilarious. David Doe is a fucking Canada. David Doe's Canadian. Fuck you quitting for? So you can make money off of us whenever you're not even dealing with our problems. You don't live in our fucking country. You've just been making money off of us and making money off of our fucking issues this whole time. You even had the audacity to go out to brunch like all of our problems were solved, even though you once again live in fucking Canada. You can go to brunch because you can eat all the fuck you want to, because if you become obese, you got a healthcare system that'll take care of you regardless. But now that Trump has won, now that Trump has won, he wants to quit. For what? Is that like what has changed for him? I'm so confused,
You
bro.
have to see Donald Trump's mean tweets. And Niko, I don't know if you guys see this, and maybe I can pull up a receipt because we're doing this live too. Like they're now dropping the federal charges against Trump because Jack Smith is saying that he can't prosecute the president. So let me see if I can pull this up because I saw the right wing tweet. So this is why. Trying to find the tweet here. We're here breaking the Department of Justice is getting rid of the special counsel Jack Smith before Trump takes office. So David Doe is like, fuck it, I'm done. Cenk Uygur is about to pop a blood vessel. Liberals are going through some things right now, fam.
Ah, man, I love it. I ain't gonna cap. Y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve this fucking L.
We gotta have fun sometimes, Niko. And this is a long time coming. These genocidal liberals, these progressives who decide to sell out the Palestinians in order so they can have access to the Democratic Party club, they deserve every ounce of this. The ratio I gave Kyle Kulinski, he was like, well, I think the Democratic Party is going to shift forward to the right, and you're still going to support them. These people are taking L's all over online right now. David Doe is quitting because he already see where this is going.
Nick, you brought up how in Missouri several progressive policies were passed while Republicans still remain president. And apparently this was a pattern that actually happened all across the country where progressive ballot initiatives were winning, but Republicans were also winning. And his conclusion is that Democrats are going to move further to the right. No. They said fuck y'all because they're already to the right. That's why you lost. Because it isn't just like Kamala lost, people. They lost control. They lost control of the Senate. Okay. They also lost another House seat. And the governor incumbents that ran that were Republican, they didn't only just win, they busted the Democrats' ass in every single race. They whooped their ass. Basically signifying like, yeah, y'all had no chance. No one likes you. You're a fucking nerd and no one likes you. Yeah, like they don't. It wasn't just because like people keep it was racism, it was sexism, it was this, it was that. Blaming this demographic, blaming Republicans, blaming Hispanics, black men. Okay, so why did y'all lose more seats in the Senate? Why didn't y'all win back anything in the House?
White women voted against. Guys, I told you guys on RBN. As right now, there are people in shock. I can't believe the white women voted.
What did we say, Nick? What did we say? Ain't no way.
We talking Niko.
Black woman be president before a white woman. Ain't no motherfucking way.
Bro, there's all these black women shit libs that was shitting on black men. Like, I know that white women failed us before. There's a tweet, I don't have it saved, I can dig it up. There's this tweet where she's like, I know white women failed us before, but I know I can rely on them more than black men to stand up for misogyny. And people forgot that white women benefit from white supremacy as much or probably more than white men.
Yeah, no, like today, yeah, probably more. I would make the argument. I mean, because they get the benefits of white supremacy, but then they also like affirmative action. They benefit more from it than anybody else. Like they get to be the victims and they also get to dominate. It's actually pretty lit.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what receipt I want to go through first. I won't read this because you mentioned this earlier. So this is something else why this is just a glorious day for me personally as well. Because I told you guys before on RB, and I've been very consistent, I vote for ballot initiatives. And I just so happen to vote for the Green Party because I'm already there. I unapologetically vote and support a socialist, anti-imperialist organization, especially since I'm going to be there for ballot initiatives. We got legalized marijuana, and we increased the minimum wage 3 elections in a row, fam. You know, we had a Medicaid expansion in Missouri last election because of, yes. Medicaid expansion, increased minimum wage 3 times in a row. We had an affordable housing initiative that passed. Missouri is a deep red state, but the voters keep voting economic populist as hell. Meanwhile, Democrats are saying, oh, the reason why we lost is because we became too woke. Right? It's like, no, lost to Josh Hawley the year that we got a Medicare expansion, a year that we increased minimum wage, and she was running against it.
I was just saying, I'm like, Josh Hawley just won again? I thought that he was.
Because his opponent is a Zionist who support endless funds to Ukraine, and they're like, oh my God, why can't we defeat Josh Hawley? Run a Democrat who support economic populism, assholes.
Yeah,
and this is very devastating, Niko, past you because I'm very honored. I'm glad because you had also an abortion referendum on the ballot because Missouri is one of the states.
Yeah,
I told you guys countless times that abortion is already banned where I lived. Like that shit was gone, fam. So there was no like scaremongering for me. I told you guys that multiple times. So it was on the ballot, and I voted for abortion rights, and abortion rights passed in Missouri. So Niko, look at this scenario. Look at this scenario, fam. Look at this scenario, because you guys don't want to know what liberals been saying about me, because I had a lot of viral tweets while I was saying, and I don't apologize, and I still believe it with every ounce of my heart, that I am not going to support genocide just so suburban white women have the right to have an abortion. I'm sorry.
I feel that's
not making that trade. Not going to happen. So, Niko, because of that hit tweet, there were so many of these rad lib feminists that was like, see, this is why we hate leftist men. So says MMA hates women. And I'm like, man, I embrace your hatred. It is what it is. So I want people to realize that I voted to enshrine abortion rights in Missouri while at the same time voting against genocide. You notice how you can stand up for reproductive health without selling your soul to genocide?
Did both things. Didn't have to sell your soul. Didn't have to sell out. It's beautiful, guys.
Meanwhile, you have Cenk Uygur and all these deeply unserious progressives who only look at national politics. They're looking for a Democrat capitalist daddy to save them. They want you to be beholden to the Democratic Party because, according to them, there's no other way. So, sorry, Nick, I know you want to try. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, bro. Hey, look. That Missouri specifically, I mean, that's just like a brilliant example, because like you can't get no redder than Missouri damn near. Like, you can't get no more Zionists damn near than Josh Hawley. And for them to vote, also there's some apparent organizing going on behind the scenes there that we were previously unaware of, or at least I was unaware of, where there are people on the ground doing work, because that's the only way, in my opinion, that those policies pass. So there is actually organizing that Missouri, local organizations in Missouri are doing that isn't reliant on the outcome of the federal elections. Do y'all understand how significant that is? First of all. Also, I feel the same way, Nick. And it's funny that you said you tweeted out, because I fell asleep right before I was about to tweet the shit out. I'm like, I don't know why y'all think I'm going to support I'm not going to support a genocide so y'all can kill y'all babies. Like, close your legs. Like, they don't have a choice but to be bombed. You choose who you do and do not have sex with 98% of the time.
Palestinian women, I tweeted this out. Palestinian women were having C-sections without anesthesia. And you guys wanted me to vote for that just so your suburban ass can have an abortion? Fuck off. Get out of here.
And having stillborns because of what's happened. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you wanted to, and it's like the most wealthy, rich, white, like, because the women who actually have had abortion for legitimate reasons, they're usually not the loudest about abortions, generally speaking. Because I guess it's kind of how it is with most traumatic stuff. Like, it's the women's like, woman, have you actually had an abortion? And like, was it your choice because of a decision that you choose to make with your sex life? And like, that's why you're crying right now, because you can't have consequences to your decision making? Because that's kind of bullshit. If that's what because like you mad because I wouldn't vote for genocide so you can avoid consequences of your personal decision making, because that's what it usually is for the most part. And I actually am one of those people, like, I personally believe that, like, I believe in women's bodily autonomy, but I feel like you should take every measure to try to make sure that you can give the kid a chance if it's possible. That's how I feel. That's why I believe that a strong family unit is good to have, and there's still adoption, but I still believe in women's autonomy. But either way, like, I'm not going to vote for genocide for either side of the issue. And also, what the fuck was Kamala going to do? That's what I keep trying to understand. Like, guys, y'all understand how that shit work? You gotta, if you could still codify Roe v. Wade, which you can't do anymore, you would have to do it in the House and in the Senate. And then she have a chance to say yes. So the only thing that she probably could do is use her bully pulpit to talk about the issue, which we know she won't do until it's a reaction to something the Republicans have already done. And she can't undo it anymore. Like, what do y'all think? Because even the women didn't believe that she was going to fight for women's issues. Because look at the fucking results, guys. Women, they were like, yeah, we ain't really rock with it.
And Niko, that was the point I was making earlier. The liberals that was accusing me of not caring about abortion, I have officially done more to protect abortion rights than they have. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. It's all the things that y'all swear I don't care. Like, because they're like, oh man, Palestine's really going to be destroyed now. it's or Gaza specifically. I'm like, y'all do know it. It's somebody said they couldn't wait till Trump turned Gaza into a parking lot. I'm like,
they fantasized about genocide.
It already is.
Yep.
It's already happened. Why do you think we've arrived at this point? You are threatening these people, saying like, "Oh man, I hope this conclusion happens." Motherfucker, it's been concluded. The conclusion has concluded already. That's why we're here. Like
that's why I like Jimmy's joke. That's why I like Jimmy Dore's joke, and I give Jimmy's prop because he was like the only one in that one rally that was bringing up Gaza, and he said, "How is Kamala? How is Trump going to be worse than Kamala and Biden on Gaza? What is he going to do? Resurrect the people they already killed and kill them again?" That was a banger,
bro. That's because how do you get worse than genocide, bro? How do you get worse than genocide? The only thing, in my opinion, that like say if Trump continued it, I still wouldn't have voted for Kamala because like I'm not going to reward the genocide. Then fine, okay, cool. It didn't stop the genocide, but now you want me to reward it. I'm not going to do that either, motherfucker. Like I don't know if Trump is going to stop it, but I'm not going to reward it. So there's a lot of people who feel the same way. Niko got into an argument with Rabbi Shmuley over Trump's loyalty to Israel in New York City. Yeah, and he was like, he said, "Y'all, Zionism ain't got shit to do with the America First movement. Like y'all are a problem for Trump's base. Like we don't want to be associated with y'all." Type shit. Like he was pissed because Rabbi Shmuley was like trying to say that he was America first. He's like, bitch, you was wearing an Israeli flag before you walked up here. And then Shmuley was like, he got caught off guard. Yeah, bro. I was kind of surprised by Niko staying on business like that because they was in Times Square and everything.
Yeah, but this is where things get interesting, Niko. And I was tweeting about this last night as well. And there are going to be a lot of MAGA people that's going to be made very uncomfortable here very soon. Because there are a lot of MAGA people who follow me. And I got respect for them because they know I'm a fucking communist and they still follow me anyway. But I was very critical of the Democratic Party because they was in charge.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people in the Make America Great Again movement that has been sipping on some copium and hopium, thinking that Donald Trump isn't a diehard Zionist. They have been delusional. And I cannot wait until Donald Trump betray the MAGA base because guess who's going to be there to hold MAGA accountable? It will be RBN. And all the MAGA people who was comfortable with us because we criticized the Democratic Party have no idea what it's going to be like when I am going to be a citizen journalist under a Republican administration who will betray you. He's
already
said he wants to expand NATO. He's going to betray you. And unlike these MAGA cowards, I promise you they're not going to say anything. But RBN, we're going to hold MAGA accountable because the shit libs, they're gone. I said on Twitter, I'm going to take like 100 days to laugh at shit libs because they lost to Donald Trump again. But
we deserve them 100 days.
Homie. We on their ass. But go ahead, Niko.
No, I was saying we deserve 100 days, y'all. We deserve those. But not in all seriousness, like Trump is a Zionist, right? Yeah. Or at the bare minimum, he's an opportunist. And like you said, the promise to expand NATO, that's actually contrary to what he was on last time. He was talking about leaving NATO, his last administration, last term in office. But now you want to expand it, knowing that they're the ones causing the.
I don't know if you saw it, but I did a segment. JD Vance confirmed that not only Trump will stay in NATO, he's going to advocate for countries like Germany to spend more. And remember, this is at a time where a record amount of NATO countries are hitting 2%. So essentially, Trump is calling for expansion of NATO. But go ahead, Niko.
At the bare minimum, like Trump isn't challenging the shit. That's what's like. With JD Vance saying it, and he's saying Trump is agreeing to it, and you're bringing in Pompeo again. Right? So that hasn't really given me any comfort at all whatsoever. So until you come out and say otherwise, I'm going to assume that what JD Vance saying is true. Now, there is a reality. I'm going to be straight up. There's a reality that Trump is like, I'm not going to nudge this motherfucker because like he can say whatever because Trump, we know it's like, I don't know how he's going to feel about foreign policy until I wake up that day and he wake up too and we look at Twitter and that's when we know how he feels. Because he was going to bomb the shit out of North Korea and then now him and Kim Jong-un are best friends. I don't know until that day comes. But with that being said, when it comes to JD, when it comes to this NATO thing, like the only hope people have that the situation between Russia and Ukraine could even hope to normalize is that Russia puts its foot down when it comes to NATO specifically. And if he's promising to expand NATO, there is no NATO expansion without continuing to piss off Russia. Because y'all not supposed to be expanding more as it is. So, because it was that whole point of NATO to exist is to destroy Russia. That's literally its only reason to exist. And so if we're going to normalize relations, which is necessary to normalize the fucking world's economy right now, because it ain't even just about what we do here domestically, it's about the international community. So if we're going to normalize relations with Russia, which we need to do to normalize relations with the world economy, which we need to do to normalize the economy back in the United States, you can't allow NATO to expand or advocate for it in any way whatsoever. Or BRICS will continue at warp speed like it is right now. And because like what's going to happen whenever BRICS actually does make that transition into being the most powerful unit in the world, it's going to hurt everybody initially if there's no bilateral cooperation with that transition. There could be a transitional cooperation period if Trump is willing to negotiate. And to be fair to him, when people seem to like him and negotiate in good faith, like when it comes to foreign policy, he actually is more willing to entertain them. Like, I don't know, I guess because they coddle his ego, right? So that might be the reason why. But if we don't have that transitional period where there's cooperation instead of adversarial headbutting and dick swinging, like the whole world's going to hurt before it gets better. And I don't want that because it's not necessary. And expanding NATO is a guaranteed way to make sure that everybody suffers.
Yeah, I'm going to acknowledge that here in a second, but I want to read this super chat here from Hobbs. I appreciate it. Do you think they should impeach Donald Trump? What would they impeach Donald Trump for? Facilitating a genocide?
Yeah, right. Like
what should they impeach Donald Trump for? Killing kids?
Because AIPAC got him elected because they paid for him to get elected just as much as they paid for Kamala. Like, what do you mean?
Good luck. I mean, Republicans about to take the House and Senate, so good luck with that. For one.
Oh yeah, right.
But anyway, I want to keep the thoughts on Ukraine because I'm going slightly out of order, but I'm here with my brother Niko. We having fun, so I want to show you guys something else, which is very hilarious. Speaking of Ukraine, because Europe is quite nervous because the Zelensky curse continues once again. You guys know we've been discussing the Zelensky curse, and obviously, in my first reaction, obviously the reaction of most people is obviously, if you fund and support a genocide during the election, you will lose. But there has been a very particular pattern, my friends, of Western leaders who were strongly supportive of Zelensky, who are now gone. The same people who said Putin must go are now officially out of office. How many UK prime ministers have they went through ever since they said Putin must go? I remember, and if the OG RBN fans know this, because during the beginning of the Ukraine war, I did a ton of propaganda segments, and many of them were saying, "Man, I think the Ukraine war, it will mark the end of Putin."
Yeah, I remember how many people had said that, and I also was thinking like that is the dumbest. I said, no, that's not how these things work. He's going to be more powerful and successful and well liked in Russia than ever before because they're tired of their people getting killed. I don't think people don't understand how many ethnic Russians are being killed in Ukraine. But yeah, Zelensky touches your hand. That's it for you, man.
Yeah, once Zelensky give you the approval, is done. So I'm trying to remember the country. There was some leader who refused to meet with Zelensky, and everyone was like, "That's the best decision you made." I think it was some leader in Japan, I believe, who refused to meet with Zelensky. He was like, "Why try to get Zelensky cursed? Fuck that shit."
Bro, that's hilarious.
I gotta find the article. I read it not too long ago. I really want to find it. But this is the endless list of prime ministers and leaders who got Zelensky. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was the most recent ones. And Kamala Harris have given speeches where she essentially promised never-ending, unwavering support for Ukraine. So great job running on that and losing. That's another reason why I'm extremely happy. It's great to see the NATO agenda lose at the ballot box once again. I'm going to read a super chat, and then I have a few more receipts I'm going to show you guys. So see how much we can get through today. I have a propaganda segment, but I might save it to the end when Niko leaves. It's a segment on MSNBC. I tweeted about it. This is the third video I've seen today, Niko, where they're talking about the ramifications of Donald Trump winning in the Middle East. So all of a sudden, these motherfuckers on MSNBC care about casualties in the Middle East. And now do you guys see why the Democratic Party is the most effective evil? Because the same liberals who have been completely deactivated are now going to scream genocide.
But hold on, Nick. But hold on. Hey, appreciate you guys for proving our point. Because all the fucking sudden, y'all care about the Middle East again, huh? Y'all care about the civilians and the innocent casualties in the Middle East. The same casualties that literally 12 hours ago, you ain't give a shit about. Appreciate you. This is exactly what we said would happen. All of a sudden, you give a shit again because Trump signing the goddamn his name to send troops off to wherever the fuck to kill whoever innocent brown people he can find instead of Biden. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for proving our point.
Now you guys know that we don't engage in lesser two evilism. Like I don't support either party.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't. That's not part of my calculations, right? But it's always funny when the progressives spin it and get it completely wrong, because the argument that Bernie Sanders made, and I destroyed him for it, the argument that people like Kyle Kulinski, Vanguard, TYT, and all the fake progressives made, the AOCs, they say, well, we don't like genocide, we don't support the policies of Democrats, but we have to support the Democrat Party. In fact, Sam Cedar loves making this argument. They said we got to support the Democrat Party because we got to choose who we want to fight against.
That's the dumbest argument you can make.
It's the dumbest argument because, once again, I am not an advocate of lesser two evilisms, but it's literally the exact opposite of what they say. The Democrats are the most effective evil because when the Democrats in charge, the liberals unapologetically support all their evil policies. Because if Kamala Harris won, they will be opposed to us, and they'll be cracking down on genocide protesters like Chuck Schumer planned to, because they will be worried about Democrats' House chances in 2026. It never ending. But when there's a Republican in charge, and all of a sudden you have AOC taking photo shoots at the border, crying over kids in cages. You guys see, and that's why. And I don't make, once again, I cannot emphasize enough, I don't make my decisions based on this calculus. But based on that calculus, Republicans are undeniably the lesser evil, the people that we want to organize against, because at least we will have the liberal class organizing and fighting against them as well.
I don't know if you would call it the lesser evil as much as like, yeah, but it's an evil that y'all acknowledge.
Yeah.
So we can actually fight it. Like I can't. The thing about, especially because most of the country isn't as politically tapped in as we are, right? So if they don't know that evil exists, how are they going to then organize to challenge it, right? The reason people voted, I wouldn't even say that most of them voted for Trump. I can actually pretty confidently say that the majority of the country did not vote for Trump.
Absolutely.
Look at what happened with Michigan. There were, like, in the area where I thought I was actually going to win the majority of the Muslim votes, that's not what happened. In areas where you would think that Kamala or Joe would win, Trump won the Arab vote. These are the same people, mind you, that held him accountable for the shit that he did in the Middle East last time. In other words, they were very clear. We don't like fucking you, Kamala. We want to make sure you lose. Unselfishly, because those fears that they had for why they voted against Trump last time, that doesn't mean that they disappeared, Nick. That just means that they were like, we got to stand on business, even if that means we have to risk some of our comfort here so that we have a chance to hold this genocidal psychopath accountable. So they voted against the system. Then you have the black people who they're blaming for voting for Trump or not participating, because a lot of black people who are also singular-minded in some ways because of what the experiences they had, they look at Trump and like, man, he going through the same shit in the system that we deal with. Because they weaponized the justice system against him. And we know that out of all the legitimate reasons they could have used to actually prosecute him, which they would never do because then Joe Biden would have to be held accountable and every president before would have to be held accountable too. They made up reasons. They made up lies. They invented reasons and they weaponized the Justice Department against a political opponent. And black people could relate to that. And then they tried to kill him. And like, y'all know our history with the government trying to assassinate people, right? So they were like, well, shit, man. Well, that's kind of the shit that we go through. And it's not like they were, once again, it wasn't like they were voting for Trump. They were voting against the system. You got women even. I feel like there was a lot of women who voted against the system because of perhaps the portrayal of this damsel in distress portrayal. Like they got to be saved, right? Like they got to be protected. They got to be like they're victims. Like they can't make their own autonomous decisions. Like I feel like there's a lot of that sentiment there. I feel like there were some black men who got tired of being tokenized, black women who were tired of being tokenized, even white men who are tired of being caricaturized. Like, why can't we just be us? We got to be Nazis. We got to be, advocates. Like, I just want to make money, take care of my family, grow old, and die. Is that good enough? Nope. You got to be an advocate or you're a Nazi. Those are the two options. You got to be a Democrat, advocate, liberal, or you're a Nazi. Like, so it was fuck the system. because the way that he won is kind of like ludicrous. It's kind of crazy when you really think about it. Like, bro, Arabs literally voted for Trump. They don't like this motherfucker. That is the biggest middle finger that you could give. Say, like, you thought that you really thought that we were going to let you kill our people, bro. Like, you thought it was going to let you kill our people. And they were like, no. And black people were like, you thought we were going to let us tokenize us. You thought we were going to let you tokenize us again. Fuck you. No. It was like everybody was like, fuck y'all. Like, that's basically that's what I took it as.
You want to know the explanation? And I was trying to quickly dig some stuff up while he was talking. I'm gonna show you guys just a few. I didn't want to like call people out because I don't want to like use my platform for that or whatever. But the amount of cope on social media, I'll get super chats here very soon. The amount of cope on social media from liberals is incredible, and the amount of liberals that are posting crap like, I officially lost faith in humanity now. Like, and now you have liberals, and you guys know I'm down to criticize the American people, but they are criticizing the American people for not voting for their favorite genocidal girl boss.
Yeah.
And they are now smearing entire populations, the working class, as racist, misogynist. And once again, I pulled this up quickly as you were speaking because I can find endless amounts of these tweets, and especially from big blue checks of them just shitting on American people. Like, it's not Kamala's fault, not Democrats' part. I'm going to read a few. The racism, misogyny, and hatred of women are so deeply rooted into everything that is America. Now I'm gonna read a few more. You guys don't understand the depth of misogyny. It's not just black men and Latino men that hate us. Men in general hate seeing women in leadership positions. Do you guys see how liberalism rots the brain?
Yeah, this first, bro. That's crazy. That's fucked up. Like, this is
bro. There are countless tweets like this, Niko, and I'll pass right to you. But there are countless tweets like these. You guys see how liberalism rots your brains and instill nihilism into you? Because they inherently have a negative, toxic, hatred view of working class people. You want to know how I know this kind of shit is bullshit? Because Missouri, a red state full of quote unquote misogynistic racists, voted for a minimum wage increase, knowing that majority of minimum wage workers are black and Latino. Why does majority of Americans want to see an arm embargo on Israel, but the Democratic Party didn't listen to them? But we're racist because we want to see an arm embargo? You guys see where I'm going with this? I'm not trying to let the American people off the hook, but the American people have proven over and over again in the ballot initiatives and in polls, majority of the American people, including Republicans, support Medicare for all, which means the average white person wants to see my black guys get health care. You want to know who don't want to see me get health care? The black liberal, Kamala Harris. But and they think they have the right to smear Americans as racist when the average American wants to see my black ass have health care, but they don't support it? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? And the last one I'm reading, Niko, I know you want to chime in. This is the last one. Look, Latinos, some of the most racist people in the country. And bro, I know, Niko, we got a lot of strays at black men, but bro, the liberal
they cashing it today. Bro, the Hispanics are cashing it today, bro. I don't know what. I don't know what y'all did, bro. I don't know what they did. I'm like, damn, y'all talked about them all election. Why they catching all the strays?
They realized they fucked up. They're like, man, we were talking shit about black men. We forgot all about the Latinos. And trust me, the liberal class is making up for it on Twitter right now, guys.
Hey, so Nick, I'll tell you this, though. I'm going to say this. But we know what they really want to say. They can't go as hard at black men because, like, it's primarily the white people who are we know how white liberals are. It's primarily them who are commenting on that particular aspect. And you can't lead that conversation with those fucking black guys again. You can't do that. So what they try to do is they get you they bait you with another race or ethnicity that black people get like, yeah, hey, like that one. Yeah, like this. Whenever Joe Scarborough starts off talking like, yeah, man, it's not just white guys who are sexist, it's Hispanics. Black men and Hispanics, but you know how them Hispanics can be. Yeah, they can be pretty racist, man. Yeah, right. Black people too, but it's mostly Hispanics. Like, bro, it's crazy. I'm like, yo, I have not heard y'all insult Hispanic people. Because first of all, also let's be clear, guys. Y'all do know like there is a racial spectrum within the Latino community, right? There are a lot of black people and brown people in the Latino community. And they say like they can be racist. I'm like, or they can. I could say like at the bare minimum they don't rock with some people because they just are within their own little world. But there are black people who won't vote for white people for the sake that they're white. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are a lot of them like that. Right? Yeah. Like Nick, Southern black, but family reunion black. He know how it go, right? That's a real thing. It's not their fault. Is it? So how is it the Hispanic men's fault that the Democrats lost the Senate?
Oh, bro, Niko, they are so furious, bro. What? And this is, I don't know if you saw this, and you guys know Niko House is my hotspot brother. I love the work that, and I'm honored to be working on hotspot. I love the work that we do over there. And I want to show you this on your thought. I don't want me to interrupt you, but I want to get you to comment on this as well. I don't know if you saw this clip, but white liberals like Joe Scarborough, they are so close to saying the N-word.
Yeah, bro. I was saying, I said on my show today, I was like, yo, this is getting real. That man, I said, he wants to say nigga, guys. He wants to say nigga. He wants to say this is so bad, bro. Those Hispanics.
Oh, my God. So instead of blaming the fact that Kamala Harris refused to listen to the will of the majority of the American people who want to see an arms embargo on Israel, instead of blaming that, Morning Joe is going to blame black men and Latino men. And notice who Joe Scarborough is very consciously aware that he cannot criticize. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys to answer that. To me, it's quite obvious. Pay attention to who Joe Scarborough is afraid of criticizing here.
Say really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men. Right. It's misogyny from black men.
Bro, this man, Joe Scarborough, is putting Al Sharpton on TV and forcing him to be scolded by Joe Scarborough and saying, hey, I want you to know that black men are misogynists. And Al Sharpton is sit there. He forced to sit there. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm a fed. I'm a sellout. Yeah, I know, Joe. Black people are the worst. I know.
Hey, you know what's hilarious about this? It's like, first of all, we've been not just misogynistic, but like we've been telling y'all liberals are the most racist. We've been telling y'all white liberals are the worst. And now, but it's what's hilarious about this is Joe's proving our fucking point. What this motherfucker Joe Scarborough invited Al Sharpton on to give him a lesson about racism and misogyny and make him sit there and fucking take it. He like you ain't gonna ask him his opinion first. I think it's best to just wait a second, like let him talk. And then you bounce off of that in this particular situation. This man went on to lecture him.
Brought him off his opinion and credibility. Like, bro, that is such a power move. It's such a piece of shit move. Don't get me wrong. It's a piece of shit move. But it's such a power move by Joe Scarborough to bring Al Sharpton on so Al Sharpton can hear him bitch and complain.
And just sit there like, I'm not even allowed to, I can't even respond. Like, I know I can't.
Pay me a lot of money, man. I got no credibility in the hood no more. These are the only people that will ever listen to me now. I got to put my suit on and listen to these shit lips.
Oh yeah, because they really about to start chilling now. It's really about to because it's gonna be a struggle for these motherfuckers the next 4 years. Because no matter what you say, like, okay, so what was y'all saying when Joe Biden was doing this?
I actually disagree with you, Niko. I actually think Morning Joe is about to go through a boom period.
That's
because of Trump.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm already giving them attention, bro, because their content. When Trump, it's gonna be gold. The meltdowns on the lead.
That is very true. That's but the thing is, though, I feel like so many people have woken up to the mainstream media. I'm not sure if it'll have the same impact. Because if that was the case, I feel like it would have affected. Because if there was any election, this was the election that they could have made, and they had a little bit of a boom. That's because everybody in the media, like the political media, had a little bit of a boom. But like the influence of that boom was vastly different. People actually believed them last time. This time it was like, yeah, y'all just really fucking talking. Like I just listen to y'all to hear how stupid y'all sound now. That's what it's like for a lot of people watching mainstream media on both sides now. They don't like anybody. So they could experience a little bit of a boom, but I don't know, man. I feel like them checks ain't about to cash like they used to.
We see you may be right, but I'm glad a lot of people in my audience at least know what I mean here because I've been saying this for at least a year because I've seen statements on Morning Joe where they're like, man, I think Donald Trump is going to be awful because he said he wants to end the war in Ukraine. I'm like,
yeah.
You creating an ad for this man or not? There's so many times they make Donald Trump sound cool as fuck. They will say, man, Donald Trump take office, he's gonna go after his political enemies. He's gonna lock up Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. I'm like, what?
Bullshit, then. Like, well, hold on. Let me put Jill on hold real quick. If that's what we talk about. Like,
I'm like, bro, you can't convince me these people don't want Trump to win.
He would say that he was gonna lock up Hillary, and my ass was like, bitch, why the fuck haven't you locked up Hillary yet? Like, that's what you said you was gonna do. We waiting, right?
I had a poll on Twitter. I need to see who's winning. I want to make a bigger one. I said, out of all of Trump's political enemies, who do you want to see him lock up first? I was having fun. And I think Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton is tied right now. I want to make another poll because I wish I would have included Fauci on there. I forgot to include Fauci. I think if I included Fauci, he would have won.
He might have won. He really might have, bro. He really might have.
That was an oversight on my behalf. I realized that, like, damn, I should put Fauci on this poll.
That's okay, man. You just make another one with Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Fauci.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue this clip. We only got halfway through. Let's show Joe Scarborough being this close to saying the N-word as he brings on Al Sharpton to lecture him about Black and Latino voters.
Really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from Black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a Black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and...
Go ahead, Nico.
I was like the balkanizer, like into separate groups. I'm like, motherfucker, didn't you just spend 30 seconds doing that just now?
But wasn't the Kamala Harris campaign that ran?
Hispanic dudes, bro. I lived in Miami, guys. Boy, a Black woman entered that damn club. Try to tell a Hispanic woman, Hispanic man not to jump on it. Boy, they be so hyped when they see a Black.
Nico, last time I checked, it was the Kamala Harris campaign that was running a political action called White Men for Harris,
yes, they were.
White Women for Harris, Latino Men for Harris, Latino Women for Harris, Trans People for Harris, fucking they were Muslims for Harris. That one got they had all these
dedicated to telling all of those groups individually that they're not doing enough. I would just say that all those groups were solely dedicated to telling you that you weren't doing enough as a group. That was their job. Which was crazy. But yeah, balkanizing, exactly what he accused everyone else of doing. Yep.
Yeah, we almost done. So let's finish this up, and then I have another. I have a segment I definitely want to do while you're here, so I'm gonna go through that real quick. But let's finish this clip.
Black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before. A lot of Hispanic voters have problems with Black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from Black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations.
The workers hate each other. Often among the workers. So if you're voting against Black candidates, that's exactly what you should be doing. There's no more candidates that are more corrupt in this country than the Black Congressional Caucus, all of them who are diehard Zionists. So if you're a Latino voter and you voted against Black candidates, you have a personal thank you from RBN.
Hey, real talk. Them motherfuckers been screwing us over in the grandest of ways. The CBC has screwed over Black people damn near more than the KKK.
You see Jasmine Crockett
the CBC kill you slowly. They kill you slowly. The KKK kill you with a rope. That's about the only difference between the CBC and the KKK, bro. I swear to God, they're so bad. Like the CDC. Because we're like Nick, I be having to remind people, like whenever we talk about the 1994 crime bill, everyone knew how bad it was for Black people, and the CBC pushed that shit any fucking way and let them use the image, the blackface of the CBC to convince everybody that Black people were okay with it.
Do you see Jasmine Crockett on System Update, Glenn Greenwald's show? She was interviewed during the debate. You guys understand that Jasmine Crockett is considered the young, progressive, squad adjacent member of the Black Congressional Caucus. She's friends with AOC. Meanwhile, I think it was Michael Tracy from System Update that asked him about Glenn Greenwald's show. They asked her about her support for Israel. And remember, she's a member of the Progressive Caucus and member of the Black Congressional Caucus. So the most progressive member of the Black Congressional Caucus then proceeded to explain how we have to fund Israel in their wars, and she strongly support all Biden's weapon packages to Israel because Israel has the right to defend herself. If you guys are curious, look up the Jasmine Crockett interview on System Update. Jasmine Crockett sound no different than Nancy Pelosi on Israel, and she is considered the farthest left of the Black Congressional Caucus. Do you guys understand how badly our brothers and sisters are cooked on Capitol Hill? So once again,
they also know you can be replaced quick as a black. I mean, you're just a puppet if you work in the CBC in Congress, right? You're just a puppet. They don't even let us really sniff the Senate like that. So like, if you get in Congress, you're lucky, but you better be careful because even if we can't beat you in an election, we'll just fucking gerrymander your ass out. We will redistrict you so you don't exist. That's what they did to Cynthia McKinney, right? Like you got to play ball. Did you see that interview with David Icke on CNN where he was talking about how like he was looking at all of them basically? He's like, did y'all consider that like maybe this is a mandate basically that happened last night? It was decisive and not everybody who voted for Trump is a Nazi. Maybe they're just like working class and they recognize what happened in the last 4 years and everything is really actually just worse than it was. And that's all it is to it. It isn't because they are racist. Is it because they're sexist? Is it because they don't like Kamala? Is because they just want something new. And they're all looking at him like, how the fuck could you say something like that? They are looking at this man like he's crazy, dog. Like they escorted his ass off the set after like, God, you had the audacity to suggest such a thing. Like, of course all Trump supporters are Nazis and racists. Like it was a very somber analysis on CNN that I can't believe that he was allowed to give. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he won't be back for the rest of the election coverage because it was.
And people are playing because they are saying that there's racism. I see a lot of discussion on corporate media where like we don't know how what happened in the Kamala's campaign. Shut the fuck up. You guys know exactly what the hell happened. The Democratic Party made a calculated decision, my friends. So don't listen to the TY. I always see Jank like, man, we got to do some soul search. All these people, we got to do soul searching. You guys know exactly what you did. It was a coordinated decision by the Democratic Party to trade the left with suburban white women to create a second and almost like a rebirth of the Cheney Republican Party. So in every other analysis, guys, you can throw in the trash. So the Democratic Party made a gamble that they can drag Bernie and his supporters to the Democratic Party, even though the Democratic Party was a Republican Party. It was a live experiment to see how far they can drag progressives to the right, and many of those dumbasses fell for it. But unfortunately for them, not enough people did. So it was a decision that they are willing to risk this election because Zionists demanded that Democrats take a knee this election.
Yeah.
And what does that say about the Zionist lobby? That the Zionist lobby can tell the Democratic Party while they are running against a man that they called a fascist, a man that they called the biggest threat to American democracy ever. And then Zionists told the Democratic Party, you are not allowed to take the position that will win you this election.
Easily win you the election, right? And what's even crazier is like, why they got a soul search? Y'all didn't need soul searching whenever it was Joe Biden the nominee. Y'all was y'all was very aware. Genocide is not a winning issue. Shitty economy is not a winning issue. They were reporting on the fact that those the decreased numbers in unemployment were cooked up. They were false. They were fake. They were like, wow, we really got to get a candidate that knows what they're doing. We got this Joe Biden situation. All of a sudden, all those problems that were still there, whenever Kamala became the nominee, y'all stopped giving a fuck about. Like, now it's, people were racist. But no, she's running on the same shit as Joe Biden, just with maybe somewhat of a better memory, but with worse charisma somehow. And somehow she's actually more of a shill for Israel than Biden is. And she's willing to like, at least Biden at one point got to the point where he was like trying to openly criticize Netanyahu and Israel, even though we knew politically he wasn't going to do anything, like policy wise. Kamala couldn't even bring herself to do that. In fact, She kept saying, I reaffirm my support for Israel. I reaffirm it. Like, I know, like she knew it was going to be the end of her fucking campaign, and she continued to say it because, like you said, that's how much power the Israeli lobby has over not just the Republicans, but the Democrats too. Because not only did y'all have a chance to win the election, y'all had a chance to kind of stave off what we know is coming, which is like this power vacuum that the Democratic Party now has that no one wants to admit. I keep telling people, like, I'm not confident that the Democrats didn't try to rig this election, but to rig it that scale against a candidate that popular and with a candidate that unpopular, you got to be a unified front. And Kamala was looking like bait in shark water. Like, that's what she's looking like. Democrats like, why the fuck she get to be president? That's a stupid as hell. Why not me, Nick? If we just giving that shit to anybody, she can't speak in front of camera. I gotta hire her from interviews. Why not me? So we gonna pretend like we all support her in person. We gonna support in videos and on Twitter. We gonna do our part. But when y'all send up that letter, hey man, what happened to those ballots we told y'all to? Oh, sorry, I ain't got a signal, dog. My bad. Oh shit, they already called the state. Well, it don't even matter no more. Like that shit was to me very obvious that the Democrats were not unified at the local and state levels enough to overcome Kamala's unpopularity. Because like I said, I'm never going to say that that the elections were legitimate. I believe that they absolutely tried to rig it. The problem is to rig on that scale, you got to be unified, and they were not.
So Kamala is gonna give her concession speech. I have that queued up. We're gonna watch that live. Niko, I know you have other obligations. Just let me know how you're doing on time. My brother's always great.
I got about 10 more minutes.
All right, cool. So when Niko leaves, I have a segment I want to watch because I only got 2 minutes into it. And I want to watch it with you guys because it's the MSNBC segment where they're coping over the fact that now that Trump may end the Ukraine gravy train. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I got to say this for live. They are talking about how world leaders are panicking. And you guys know I'm a geopolitics nerd. That's right up my alley. So after Niko leaves, we can watch that together. We're going to watch Kamala's concession speech, which should be started here very soon.
Oh, she finally gave one.
Yeah. She rage quit last night. She's like, I know you guys came to see me, but fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
That shit's so crazy to me, dog. I'm like, there are people who travel. They travel to go to her fucking campaign watch party, and she's like, yeah, man, fuck y'all, I'm out.
Bro, and apparently, according to the reports, they was two-stepping. They were dancing all night, and then the poll results came in. Kamala like, all right, peace out, fuck y'all. I'm out here.
Bro,
I'm not coming around you niggas anyway.
Bro, I wouldn't get to be a fly on the wall, bro, in that damn room whenever she was finding out she was losing, dog. Oh my God.
You know that Kamala's abusive to her staff. I know you covered this before. She abusive to her staff. Her staff hates her. They consider her to be she is considered to be a meme boss. Can you imagine?
That was leaked. That was leaked at the beginning of the administration, and like people kind of like,
yeah, it was one of those stories that the liberal media killed, and they pretend never happened after Kamala was nominated. But let me quickly show you guys a few funny receipts because you mentioned how Kamala easily could have won this election, and now liberals are playing whole ass dumb right now, Niko. I could have to save time, I could have covered more than Joe, where they was talking about how the Democratic Party is shifting too far to the left. They playing dumb as fuck right now on how they lost. You know, there's countless of these tweets. This is one I decided I wanted to reply to. I try not to go after like super small accounts. I thought it was a big liberal count, and it was like the theme that they was tweeting out. They were saying Kamala lost because of Palestine. The average American voter wants to nuke Palestine. Now, this goes to my earlier point. Do you guys see how liberalism leads to distrust and hatred of your neighbors and workers? So this person didn't read. Do you think this person ever analyzed a poll of how Americans view Israel, the Israel-Palestine conflict? Of course not. Liberalism leads you to the default position is your neighbors you distrust. You trust institutions. You distrust the collective. Go ahead, Niko.
And you're willing to destroy or be destroyed whoever you need to in order to achieve victory.
Absolutely.
That's what liberalism believes. Yeah.
And this is despite because all the liberals are saying, oh my God, the RBNs and all the left is saying that Kamala lost because she wasn't too far to the left. Americans support destroying Gaza. Bro, I showed you guys a poll, and I think I did a hotspot over it, where the majority of evangelicals supported a ceasefire in Gaza.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I think we covered that together.
So I think we did.
Like, oh man, guys, we have no choice but to embrace Lynn Cheney. We have no choice but to be a moderate. That has never worked ever for the Democratic Party, but they're not supposed to work. Because now it was announced that Kamala Harris lost the state of Michigan to Donald Trump. And is anyone surprised? And I'm gonna go back to the clip I said earlier. I'm gonna go back to
292.
Yeah, she lost whole ass Michigan.
292 to 226 is crazy. And she lost the popular vote too, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she lost the popular vote by like 4 or 5 million. 4 or 5 million.
Gee.
A historic ass beating. And I am loving every second of it.
Hey, look, I gotta say really quick before you look, I'm not gonna I got a little bit of my faith in humanity restored last night, not necessarily because of Trump winning. It was I'm like, oh my God, genocide is a red line. Thank fucking God, because Lord baby Jesus, if it was not, I was terrified for what that could mean. Because if genocide isn't enough to lose you an election, I don't know what is anymore. I don't know what anybody believes in if genocide isn't enough. But there was enough people pissed off at genocide and enough people equally pissed off at the economy and enough people equally pissed off about what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. And just people just frustrated and want something new and recognizing that we needed that change. Like, they're like, yo, we're not about to do this shit again. We're not running this shit back, y'all. I'm sorry. Thank fucking God. Because y'all scared me, guys. Y'all scared the hell out of me.
I'm gonna show you guys a few more quick receipts. Some receipts I want you to see, Niko, before you leave. But I decided to dig this up because I told you guys many times on RBN. I told you if you put a gun to my head and you force me to pick one person who is the dumbest political commentator, I said I would choose Emma. Namiki Cox being a close second. Go ahead.
Destiny and Emma are like. They're like both right here, Destiny and Emma. But Emma's just because she.
I think Destiny knows what he's doing a little.
Bullshit and like you ain't smart enough.
Even do it. And they used to bring on the Mickey Cox on Fox News the same way that a pro fighter would bring on someone in sparring to rough up.
Yeah. Like Destiny's like, but Destiny knows what he's doing. He's trolling on purpose.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's doing.
Thinks she's smart. She believes in her analysis.
And other political science, and she thinks that means something.
Yeah, like you're an idiot. Like Emma's a fucking dumbass.
Easily one of the dumbest people in politics, and I have said that consistently, at least for a few years now. This is her electoral prediction. Kamala wins Arizona. Completely wrong. Are there ever any penalties of these people being wrong? These
Bro, you know what's crazy?
John Fetterman.
North Carolina going to Biden, or excuse me, to Harris. Like, have you not looked at anything over the last month and a half? Just
the
anything.
liberal bubble is incredible, guys. Here's crystal ball.
Literally anything. You can look at any. There's no electoral map from anybody that was like, yeah, man, that's definitely fucking going to Kamala, 100%. Yeah, like no. They were trying to save North Carolina and flip it because it was no chance. Like there was zero chance at first, and they were like sending like people from the fucking UK Labor Party showed up in North Carolina to help her campaign there because they were doing so poorly. This is just wild.
And here's Crystal Ball, who you guys knows who I didn't mention among the dumbest, and I may get pushback for this because I don't think Crystal Ball is dumb. I think she's nefarious. I explained it times before. She is very particularly nefarious. She, the Vanguard, Kyle Kalinske, and many of these other people, pushed John Fetterman, and they knew exactly what they was doing when they did so. Crystal Ball is the same person that told third-party voters to grow up because we want to support a third party instead of Marianne Williamson, and then she pretended to support the Palestinians. And then all of a sudden she would pretend to be radical because of Gaza. Remember those few months where she actually did decent work on Gaza?
Bro, can't believe it.
Kamala was swapped as president, and all of a sudden she forgot all the work she did on Gaza over the last year, which is why I don't rank Crystal Ball as being dumb. I rank her as extremely nefarious, guys.
Don't forget, whenever I think Bernie had lost maybe California or something like that, or South Carolina, I don't remember. It was like Super Tuesday, and she came on camera the next day and she said, the problem is we don't cater enough to middle-class white women. Bro, I swear to God, she said that shit. I said, what the fuck did she just say? Like, that was your conclusion out of all the stuff that happened on Super Tuesday. You like,
oh, no, wait, no way, please. Sorry, Nico, I don't mean to interrupt. We got breaking news. We got breaking news here. Apparently, Emma started crying on stream today. I seen a few comments saying this. Then not the first one I said. I had to see a few confirming it. So you gotta know we're gonna be breaking this down on Thursday.
Bro, I got a busy ass rest of the week, dog. Jesus Christ, it's so much.
Yeah, and I'm only doing half my outline, bro. Like I still haven't showed because our brother Greg and Hotspot, they've been on fire. They put a compilation already of all these liberals posting crying TikToks. Guys, it's been a glorious. It's gonna be a glory. We're gonna be eating good, brother. We're gonna be
hydrated, boy. I'm hydrated off them liberal tears. Boy, I feel like hydrated a motherfucking dog.
They said Nikki must cover the liberal too. So I see a few people say she cried on. Oh my God, dude! I am gonna watch all this today. Guys, I'm not gonna have any life. I'm gonna have no life this week. I'm gonna be watching all of this.
Bro, and it's gonna be Van Jones crying.
Because if anyone deserves to cry, it's these people, man. And I'm in my next segment. This will be my last segment. I'll let you go, Nico. My next segment, I am going to explain why I am so celebratory. The reason why liberals losing is the best case of karmatic justice I've ever seen. And I have a lot of contacts I follow. I have a lot of Palestinians that follow me, and they'll tell you that this last year they never, ever, ever received as much racial vitriol and hate, not from conservatives, but from liberals. I got people I can't name. I don't want to name on stream. They'll tell you these people got death threats because they had that audacity of caring about their families being slaughtered by the government that liberals support. And now this here, and I'll play this again. I played this at the beginning of the stream. This here will go down in history as one of the most historic gaffes of all time. Because I just showed you guys how Donald Trump won a must-win state of Michigan. So what Kamala Harris decided to do was to invite Bill Clinton to Michigan to explain to Arabs why their family deserved to die. And then you have Kamala that during anti-genocide protesters, she decided to bring up a relic she used against Mike Pence as if it has the same goddamn context. So you saying I'm speaking when people are bringing up how you are killing their family members. How do you guys not see that this is horrific optics? So this is my receipt number one, and this here is the moment and that people that will go down in history why everyone should celebrate Kamala Harris losing. So I'll play it again.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
And Donald Trump won, didn't he?
Yeah.
If you want Donald Trump to win, and you better keep. And guess what? He won. Then who's picking now, Kamala?
Detroit, Michigan. And who did those Arabs vote for out there in Dearborn? They said, "Oh, so you want us to vote for Donald Trump? Okay, bet." I bet they voted. It was crazy. I bet they voted blue on every other every other election. I bet they voted blue. And I guarantee, but no, you said vote for Trump, didn't you? Isn't that what you said? Okay. I don't want to make you a liar, Kamala.
Who's speaking now? So I'm gonna play the clip and the applause, because remember their applause, they are doing their chant and applauding because they're trying to drown out the anti-genocide protests. So as you see liberals post stuff about how they're losing faith in humanity and how they're having mental health crisis, I'm here to make sure that you guys don't go down the path of feeling bad for these people. That is what all this entire last segment is about. That's why I want you to stay for this last one, because this is when we're going to laugh at these psychopaths and reveal exactly why I'm having such a good time today. So I'm going to let this video play all the way through, because literally the last 30 seconds are extremely uncomfortable to witness.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
Look how uncomfortable this is. Am I the only one uncomfortable?
I don't remember seeing this part. What the fuck is up with that evil ass death stare she's giving?
That's because look at these liberal psychopaths.
Bro, did she disassociate for a second?
This bitch like, how dare you drown out protesters?
It's that prosecutor mentality. Like, who the fuck are you to think that you could talk while I'm talking? Type shit. Like, I'll throw your ass in jail right now. Like, she forgot. She's like, no, you're not an AG anymore. You can't just throw people in jail. I know y'all think that, but
we're not going back. We're not going back. Yes, we are. Apparently we are.
Apparently, like.
You guys are telling me that it's not absolutely glorious that these people lost. Yeah. Can you understand the long-term consequences if we allow the genocidal cult to win after having the mandate to commit genocide? Not only is Kamala bombing kids, her supporters that are there, they want nothing more than to silence anti-genocide protesters. Do you understand the long-term ramifications if we gave these people the mandate to win? And these people are so psychotic that the Democratic Party sold merch based on Kamala Harris silencing anti-genocide protesters. And then these people, so confident that they were going to win, posted pictures like this. Just in do you think this? What is guy? He's a famous author or whatever. Steve King, whatever. So Stephen you guys think that Steve King, he posted this knowing that Palestinians will see this. You guys understand how psychotic you have to be?
Literally, bro. He's literally saying, "We know that you're dying. We don't care." And we're gonna win despite the fact we don't care and we know that you're dying. You know, that's fucking psychotic, bro. Like, how can you, like, they're like, man, but Trump will be worse. How can you be worse than that? You can't be worse than that. At the bare minimum, it will be equal. At the bare minimum. But like, bro, this is insane. Bro, do you understand? Even Trump hasn't celebrated the deaths of Palestinians or like been so audacious like this, right? That's insanity, dog. Pretend to be, you're the party of the working class. Pretend to have empathy. Like, that shit is and the people that cheer it on, like, that's what's even crazy to me. It's like, okay, the politicians being like they are, okay, the elites and the celebrities being who they are, okay. But the average liberal walking down the street, or at least the average liberal on Twitter, like the average Democrat, y'all are okay with this shit? How did nobody how did Van Jones, with all this, because he might motherfucker stay crying, you got all this empathy, all this sympathy, but you ain't think to step in and check this shit so that somebody can have some semblance of respect for you guys still?
And I'm speaking on behalf of my Palestinian brothers and sisters who've been posting about this. The anti-Arab, the anti-Palestinian racism I have seen from these people, just in response to people begging Democrats. Do you remember how they treated the uncommitted movement? And the uncommitted movement couldn't be more pathetic and subservient to the Democratic Party, and the liberal class still treated them like scum. Do you guys remember this, Jim? Do you guys remember this, Jim, here? Where anti-Palestinian protesters was at the DNC protest. So let's play this video, just in case you guys are starting to feel bad for the liberals. I am waking up every day and I'm feeling blessed, knowing that these psychopaths are going to lose.
13 years old. Say it again. Say it again. Mock them again.
You don't understand how terrifying it would be if this guy won? Do you guys understand how happy I am that this guy is somewhere crying in his pillow right now?
Probably.
Now, again, these are the liberals. If you don't know, we covered this at the time with much fury of the Democrats and these privileged motherfuckers literally laughing at, closing their ears, and mocking the writing anti-genocide protesters. And people are wondering why we're having an RBN celebration stream about these people losing. There's nothing that made me happier knowing than these people just lost. Let me play the video all the way through.
Say it again. Say it again. Mock them again. Mock the children again. Do it again.
18 years old. You guys win this coalition to win the presidency? You guys win this guy?
Bro, you know how many Trump supporters I've interacted with? And the ones that, they desperately wanted Trump to win. I didn't see any of them act as vitriolic regarding the issue of Israel and Palestine. as that. Like
I've seen Zionist speakers get booed at Trump rallies. I know
Yes.
that they might have been
Yes.
selective clips, but it exists. I've seen Zionists get booed.
Yeah, no, they will literally come out and be like, "Nah, y'all not America first. Fuck y'all. Y'all hurt Trump. We're tired of Trump listening to y'all." Like they straight up will. That is the one issue, maybe outside of the Julian Assange issue for some of them, but like the one issue that I've seen, a lot of Trump supporters stand on business. Like even Candace criticized Trump. And she's been critical of Trump for not being anti-Israel enough since the October 7th situation started. It's because she started to realize how much control the Zionist movement had over Trump and even the Democrats. So like I've not seen this shit. Where's the clip at of Trump supporters reacting this way whenever Trump is called too Zionist or supporting Israel too much? Like where is those clips at? They don't exist.
I've seen the clip
like that's damning. That is a damning indictment of liberals in the Democratic Party that we don't have that clip, and those are supposed to be the fucking Nazis, not this motherfucker who's laughing at dead Palestinian children.
I've seen a clip that I did save, and I wasn't planning on sharing. There was this person at the Trump rally who called out Charlie Kirk to his face on why he's a fraud on Israel. I may cover it in the future on RBN. And then he wins the crowd over Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk loses that. It was big on the anti-Israel right. I saw it floating around the anti-Zionist Twitter where people was like, man, Charlie Kirk. And the crowd didn't turn on him. It was like Charlie Kirk literally lost the crowd. And I don't want to paint a false picture, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that MAGA not full of Zionists because I think there are. But they're not as rabid and they're not as crazy as these unhinged genocidal liberals.
Do it again.
18 years old. 18 years old. Yusuf Hassan.
Oh my God, no. I don't want to hear about the dead kids that I support. Oh my God. This is white
man.
liberalism in a nutshell, guys. You guys think this person's not a white feminist? What I tell you guys?
Hey, how many people you think she called Nazi today?
Yep.
Ironically. You're not worried about kids, about dead kids? I want you to be like, why are you not okay with me supporting the killing of kids so I can kill this kid that's unborn that I'm probably not even going to have because I don't know who's going to sleep with her. So like what? Y'all fucking insane. Y'all like, I want the right to kill my kids. So like, why won't you vote for these dead kids? I don't understand. Y'all understand the back ass words logic? There's no logic there. It's fucking, you're sociopaths. You're psychopaths. I don't know what else I can tell you. Like, you deserved to lose. If you thought, think about it like this, bro. If you thought that Trump was the worst thing that could happen to the world, and everybody, like, bro, popular vote, electoral vote, what fucking vote? The Senate flip, the House stayed the same, the governors all won. They're telling you, yeah, you might think Trump is the worst thing that happened to everybody, and we think you are worse than Trump. What the fuck does that say about y'all, guys? If you don't get the message now, you're never going to get the message because they just told y'all. If you think y'all have, because y'all successfully convinced the world that in 2020, the large majority of the world, or at least the country, believed that Trump was the worst thing to happen to us. And they were like, they experienced y'all for 4 fucking years. We're like, no, just kidding. We thought, that's what we thought. Y'all are actually worse. Holy shit. We didn't think it'd get worse. We didn't think it'd get worse, but it got worse. And they showed you in every single way, while, like Nick said, passing progressive policies along the way. It was you specifically. It wasn't policy. Ain't got nothing to do with leftism. Ain't got nothing to do with conservatism at this point. That's what we found out. That all that spectrum shit, as far as like the politics and the woke shit, no, that shit didn't even matter when it came down to who they fucking like versus the policies they supported. They said, we don't fucking like you. You, not even policies that you talked about that you thought were too leftist. We like that shit. We love healthcare. We love money. We love weed. Everybody loves weed. But yeah, we ain't really for that genocide shit. We're not about to support genocide because of the shit y'all talking about. I just pass that shit with a ballot measure. Like, I'm not about to support some federal genocide when I can do some shit for my state within my state. But they were asking everybody to do that. Like, yeah, I know you can. They know ballot initiatives exist. They don't ever talk about the shit because they have to weaponize those issues at the federal level. But they know that you could have voted for legalization of marijuana, right? They know that. But they don't ever talk about it because they have to weaponize that shit. So fuck y'all. I'm so glad y'all lost, bro. I'm so fucking happy. I'm so happy a lot, bro. I'm so fucking happy.
I'm so happy too. I'm gonna let you go here very soon, Niko. Look, I'm finished the clip. We're gonna get some super chat. I'm gonna let you go. But look at this. You guys, you tell me you guys not happy that this guy didn't lose, and it's white liberal. You guys see the last 10 seconds? So deplorable. Look at these people at the end here. I just want you guys to really appreciate who we are laughing at, and I want you guys to get up to enjoy this moment as much as I am, because I have been witnessing these psychopaths for an entire year do this shit. So let's watch this part again. Oh, sorry, let me unmute it, because I think what they actually say is very important too. Damn it, unmute, motherfucker.
God,
oh my God, no. Look at this guy. What was that?
Why shake his? What's that? Like no,
bro.
No
what is that?
He shake his head. No.
That?
Did he shake his head? No.
I think and do you guys think he has a moral high ground over a Trump supporter? Like, do you guys think you out of your mind if you think he has a moral high ground over anybody?
Oh, hey, let me get up out of here, man. Let me get up out of here.
Yeah, absolutely, Niko. Absolutely.
Hey,
go ahead, brother.
Fucking dope. Congratulations to y'all Trump supporters. Like, hey, man, I will say, hold y'all guy accountable, man. He's there now. Because we gonna hold him accountable. All right, say that motherfucker need to just go ahead and pardon Julian Assange right now. Because you got the ability to do that. Because he still got charged for some shit he shouldn't be able to be charged for. That Iran shit, he said he wanted to end all the war. That's what he said. Okay, that means not going to war with Iran, dumbass. Like, hold him accountable to all that populist rhetoric that y'all voted for him for. When he's doing the opposite of what it means to better the economy, and y'all know what that looks like. Hold him accountable. Like, it's that simple. Hold him fucking accountable. And y'all might get something out of it. Because right now, for y'all, it's like the best time to hold him accountable because he has nothing to lose and only a legacy to gain. Because you're not going to I don't feel like anybody's going to look at him any worse at this point. So he has a legacy to gain. And if y'all placate his ego and celebrate the good things that he does, you know he will just continue to do the shit. That's what he does. That's how he is. So hold him fucking accountable. You got what you wanted. Y'all got Kamala out. We happy with that shit too. Cool. We happy on that front. But like, this is where we part ways if y'all not going to fucking hold him accountable. This is where we part ways. So appreciate you, Nick, man.
Brother, man. Anytime you want to jump on RB and hit me up, bro. Anytime.
For sure.
Anytime, brother. Make sure you guys check out Niko. Make sure you check out our work at Hotspot. We're very honored to have our partnership with RBN and Hotspot. So make sure you check out our brother Niko House and everything he do. Base as always, my friend. Take care, homie. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read some super chats, and then I want to show this propaganda segment. And I am showing this only because I saw this like 2 minutes before I was doing the stream, and I was like, bro, this segment is glorious. It's the Ukraine NATO neocons melting down. And I've been monitoring the Kamala concession speech as well. Kamala Harris is apparently 25 minutes late to her own concession speech. How mad is Kamala Harris right now? Bro, she is so furious. She knows that she will never be president anymore. So, you know, that veneer of Kamala being joyful, because according to all reports and the staff that turn over from Kamala Harris, according to everyone who know Kamala, she is a miserable, mean girl boss. She berates her employees. They said it's hell working under her. So under the last 3 months, Kamala Harris had to pretend that she wasn't this crazy mean girl, psychopath, capitalist boss, prosecutor lady. And then the second that it was revealed that Kamala Harris wasn't going to win, she reverted to her old Karen self, where everyone who traveled to hear her speak, Kamala told them to fuck off. I'm out of here. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to get drunk. They're Tim Walz, one of the worst vice presidential nominees. Bro, how do you lose to J.D. Vance, Tim Walz, and Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, the Vanguard? I thought that was your boy. I thought Tim Walz was an incredible orator of left ideas. Isn't that what you guys told us? And here it is. Tampon Tim came in and lost the election for Kamala Harris. So here her concession speech. Let's watch. I'm going to smoke. I need a smoke break. So let's smoke and watch this together. Wonder how drunk she's gonna be. Well, she's like 30 minutes late.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Bro, you lost the popular vote. How do you lose the popular vote?
Good afternoon.
How do you lose the popular vote?
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bro, there's no way I can do this sober.
Let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long...
Bro, didn't you call Donald Trump a fascist? If you lost to a fascist, this is not the concession speech that you will be giving. Didn't Rachel Maddow, any people said that Trump would lock them up if Trump won? Where is the sense of urgency, motherfuckers? I thought Donald Trump was going to lock y'all up. Anyway, let's continue. This is a very weird concession speech to a fascist, isn't it?
As we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much.
Bro, Kamala, you realize that your AIPAC handler husband, look, Doug Emhoff, thank God this motherfucker is not going to be in the White House. Kamala, you realize that your husband lost you this election, right? So all you had to do was to support an arms embargo on Israel or pretend to, but your husband wouldn't allow you to even feign support for the Palestinians. So, this guy is the reason why he lost, Kamala.
To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence.
Except the kids of Gaza.
And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld.
I thought democracy was going to end if Donald Trump won.
And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect.
Except if they want
by
to.
Looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength to lift people up.
Except the Palestinians.
For the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work.
Oh, geez,
hard work is good work.
Oh,
hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is, I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
Oh, Jesus.
You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. It's a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career, I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain.
Like the people you kept locked up
and
for
yet
slave labor.
Found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their courage be our inspiration. Let their determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history.
She thinks she's spitting.
True
You're not spitting.
of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars.
Boom!
I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is,
boom!
Let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars.
There's no way I can get through this solo.
The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service.
You guys are surprised she lost the popular vote? Are people surprised that this person lost the popular vote?
It's you. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
So are people surprised that this person lost the popular vote? The first person to lose, the first Democrat to lose the popular vote in 20 years? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the last president to win the popular vote was George W. Bush Jr. in 2004, I believe. Where essentially John Kerry was running against George W. Bush with the argument that I don't want to end the Iraq war, I want to manage the war better. So the argument that Kamala Harris was making to people was that I don't want to end the wars. I'm still going to do the same genocides that Joe Biden is doing. But don't you want a girl boss to sign the checks? Don't you want the girl boss to send the bombs? Who are these people? We live in completely different universes, man. I posted on Twitter before. I'm very proud. I'm very proud that both my brothers voted for the Green Party. My brother is still bragging about it. My brother's going through what people do often when they vote against the duopoly. A true waste of your vote is when you vote for the two-party duopoly. My brother is still talking about how he voted green down ballot. You know what I mean? So people in my life are just naturally skeptical of authority. You know what I mean? It wasn't really hard to drive people in my life to be distrustful of the war criminals. That's why I'm blessed to have family that is willing to stand up against genocide. But these people here, these people live in a different universe, man. For the fact that you come here, these people get emotional. Kamala supporters. I know a lot of these people are paid off. But wow, man. To be this enthusiastic about a prosecutor who locked up black men and fought to keep innocent men in jail because she explicitly made the argument that we need prison slave labor. Kamala Harris is the person who, as a senator, she teamed up with Marco Rubio and Senate Republicans in order to condemn a UN resolution labeling Israeli terrorist actions in the West Bank illegal. So Kamala Harris is pro-Israeli terrorism in the West Bank. Imagine enthusiastically supporting that person. Who are you? Now, this is the last segment I want to do, because you guys know I'm a geopolitics nerd. The implications, and I was talking about this on Sabby's show. I did a lot of shows the last few days, but Sabby, I was talking last night with her. I'm immediately going through the geopolitical ramifications of a Trump presidency. And I'm going to take the next 100 days, as I said. This is a fun live stream, laughing at the liberals, you know what I mean? We're going to laugh at these shit libs. We're going to expose them, you know what I mean? It has been a fun 3 years as RBN started under a Democratic president, and we're still going to have fun mocking these people. But now it's game time, homies. It's game time against Donald Trump. It's game time against the fraudulent MAGA Zionist movement that is teaming up with Sheldon Adelson billionaires, who is teaming up with Elon Musk, who sold out to the Zionist regime. So yes, it's fun to make fun of the liberals, but at the end of the day, we need to organize, and we are here to challenge power. So if you was MAGA, and if you was a Trump supporter, and you enjoyed my content over the last few years because I was going after the Democrats in charge, and if you are a sycophant, you're in for a rude awakening. Because RBN, our Project 2025, is exposing the MAGA Zionist agenda. Because unlike many of these white right-wing populists, I'm not just anti-war. There are a lot of people that, oh, I'm anti-war. I'm not anti-war. I am an anti-imperialist. You guys understand? I'm an anti-imperialist. Donald Trump has enthusiastically used sanctions as a tool to destabilize countries, to enact regime change. This is what he did in Venezuela. He's a big advocate of pursuing sanctions on countries who pursue de-dollarization. And experts have warned, and we have explained many times before, that by punishing and putting sanctions on countries simply based on their foreign policy decisions, based on what countries they align with, that will only accelerate the death of the dollar. You guys understand? Because the reason why countries are leaving the dollar is because 1/3 of the world is being sanctioned by the United States. They see the Russian sanctions being slapped on Russia by the West because of a foreign policy decision that they made. So that spooked the world, and now they want to de-dollarize. So Trump directly threatening the world because they want to go off the dollar is the kind of action that directly leads to de-dollarization in the first place. And so you have these idiot MAGA people. You have the RFK Juniors. You have the Vivek Ramaswamys. Vivek Ramaswamy's big goal is to separate Russia and China. You know, the Russia and China who has a no-limit partnership? That their relationship is stronger than ever because not only U.S. sanctions, but the shared goal of expanding BRICS and countering U.S. hegemony? The MAGA agenda of waging a harsh economic war against China by implementing these tariffs, by trying to draw China away from Russia, by doubling down on sanctions that will push countries towards de-dollarization faster, that will hurt the global working class. And Donald Trump's enthusiasm over upholding the empire is what I am opposed of. It is not just war. So when people say stuff like, Donald Trump never started a war, what are you talking about? He sanctioned and starved countries. He was complicit with the genocide of Yemen. Starved Venezuela. Financial sanctions have been as devastating to the global working class almost as hot war. Millions dead. Standards of life decreased. So I view, and this is me personally, I view the use of sanctions as no different than war. It's a modern use of warfare. Because the ruling class realized that the American populace is very casualty averse. So the best way to wage war on the country is to implement sanctions on them. So as far as I'm concerned, implementing and pushing the use of sanctions like the Donald Trump administration have done and what he is promising to double down on, that is waging war, which is why I fundamentally disagree with the MAGA grifters like Russell Brand, Tucker Carlson, and many others who lie to their people by saying Donald Trump opposes war. Sanctions is an act of war. They are actively running on stealing Iranian funds like pirates. They're criticizing Biden for lifting Iranian sanctions that was in place in the Trump administration when Trump essentially stole Iranian oil and Iranian money. And they're like, Biden is paying Iran. Like, no, you motherfuckers stole from the Iranian working class. Donald Trump implemented sanctions and tried to brutalize the Iranian people. But Tucker Carlson and Russell Brand is going to tell you how much this guy is anti-war, though. You guys see the fraudulent ideology, which I will completely expose. Now that the shit libs are out of the way. Finally, we can finally expose the MAGA agenda for what it really is. Just more trickle-down economic advocation of imperialism. The criticism of the empire is always that the empire is not taking the proper steps in the proper directions, and we will continue to expose that. Now, what I also believe what I will be exposing will be how I believe Donald Trump is not going to be a threat to NATO and the West like they claim he would be. J.D. Vance confirmed that Donald Trump will not only remain in NATO, that he will fight and expand for NATO. And because of Donald Trump's influence, you have NATO, record amount of NATO's countries are hitting their target goals. So no matter how much Trump says he's going to support NATO, the establishment is still freaking out, which I think is funny. Now, if I turn out to be wrong on Trump and NATO, that would be a pleasant surprise. I'm not buying it though. But in the meantime, I will enjoy the meltdown of the establishment as they continue to panic. As they continue to panic at the idea that Trump may shake up the war machine. A gift to the Kremlin. Uncertainty over Ukraine's future, over Trump's victory. Now, I saw a few of you guys disagree with guests we had on, like Ozzy Krosak and Che Boyles. We have guests on, and I took shit from you guys because a few of the guests openly said they supported Trump. And people are like, hey, Nick, why are you talking to these Trump supporters? And I have to explain to you guys, a lot of these European, a lot of people, remember, Ozzy Krosak, he's a Russian patriot who lives in Australia. I think Australia, right? Yeah, Australia. So what they are seeing out of our situation in the West is they see Donald Trump at least pretending that he wants to end the Ukraine war, while Kamala Harris is openly running on the fact that she would never, ever, ever consider peace with Russia. That she will continue to always fund the NATO proxy war. Now, Donald Trump, a lot of people haven't listened to what he said, but Donald Trump said that he wants to end the Ukraine war. He wanted to negotiate with Putin. And his idea of doing that was that he's like, man, I'm going to make this deal where Putin has to leave, give areas back to Ukraine. And my reaction when I heard Donald Trump talking about how he was going to negotiate with Putin was, why the fuck would Putin agree to anything you have to say, Donald? You guys realize that Putin have said quite a few times that he's done negotiating with the West, right? So if Donald Trump is going to come up with Putin and say, hey, man, you got to get some of this territory up. This is what Trump has said multiple times. A lot of people on the right haven't been paying attention. Donald Trump has said that he's going to force Putin to give a territory. And Putin has straight up said that's not going to happen. So what's going to happen? They're going to be at stalemate. And Donald Trump's going to be forced to follow the empire again. This is my prediction. The idea that Trump's going to wine and dine Putin is absolutely not going to happen. So this freak out is hilarious to me. A gift to the Kremlin? Uncertainty over Ukraine's future? Now, what does that expose about the neoliberal agenda? That anyone who advocates for peace is somehow a threat, is somehow doing the bidding of Putin. I'll read a few more headlines because I'm actually need to get to a propaganda segment. Facing uncertain fate under Trump, Ukraine appeals to its strength. I just saw this headline. I'm interested to see what they mean by that. Ukraine appealed to Donald Trump's image. Hold up. I found this headline, but I didn't read the article. Do you guys mind if I read this? I'm actually curious. Ukraine appealed to Donald Trump's image as a tough leader on Wednesday in the hope of persuading the returning U.S. president not to abandon its cause in pursuit of peace with Russia. Zelensky was among the first world leaders to congratulate Trump, who has criticized the scale of the U.S. military and financial support for Kyiv and vowed to end the war with Russia quickly without saying how. See, guys, I know why the liberal class fall for this. I know why people want to be optimistic about Trump ending the war in Ukraine. But this is why I'm not optimistic. Because I have listened to what Putin has been saying. Putin is not going to accept any of these strongman deals and offers that Donald Trump is going to propose to him. And Donald Trump, whenever he talks about it, he would never say how. He would say, oh, man, I'm going to get Putin and Zelensky at the table, and I'm going to force Putin to come up with a deal. Guys, I'm sorry to tell you something. That Putin has said over and over again, he has zero reason to do that. And Putin has learned from the Trump administration, the first one. Remember how I explained how Putin actually preferred Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to win. Why do he believe that? Why do they want Biden and Kamala to win? Because Donald Trump is insanely unpredictable. So Donald Trump would say stuff like, oh, I want to meet at the table so we can end the war in Ukraine. Then he would say some crazy shit, probably like Russia needs demilitarized, completely scaled back from Ukrainian borders. So Russia actually finds Donald Trump's unpredictability very unnerving. So I don't think, and I know how Donald Trump was one of the harshest anti-Russian presidents since Bill Clinton. He was the president who armed the Bandrat Ukrainian government in the first place. Remember, that's why liberals wanted to impeach him, because he threatened to withhold the weapons. You know, the weapons he was sending? Sorry, guys, like Trump is older now. You guys think he's going to be more of a fighter? Now that he was almost killed. He was almost killed. Twice. Motherfucker suffering from PTSD. He's old as hell. He just want to chill. He want to give good speeches, give good media coverage. You guys think he's going to rock the boat? We see, man. I don't buy it. Let me read this next headline. I'm going a little bit. I had no plan to do a 2-hour stream today. Trump's victory could mean U.S. withdraw support for Ukraine in war with Russia. Once again, not buying it. So we have a Republican Senate, Republican Congress. I don't think Mike Johnson, and I'm just theory crafting out loud right now, guys. Just thinking out loud to myself. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't believe the incoming Republican Senate, which are diehard supporters of the Ukraine war, will ever let this happen. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are just observations. You guys know how I like to come back and tell you guys how I was right, and we're going to come back on these later. But with that said, let's go to the last part of our show. I already went way too long for absolutely no reason. Just because I'm a talkative motherfucker today, I guess. So this last part I want to show you guys. I saw this earlier today. I thought it was funny because I want to show you guys this meltdown and just one of the many examples of now MSNBC is talking about Netanyahu winning. Now they care about what happens to the Palestinians. Look at the headline. The title of this video, Netanyahu is having a bad day. Sorry, Netanyahu is having the best day. Netanyahu is having the best day. As opposed to the Biden administration, who was giving Benjamin Netanyahu everything he wanted and providing Benjamin Netanyahu diplomatic immunity. But now the shit libs are worried about Netanyahu having a good day. Are you serious? After Biden and Kamala gave him immunity to commit massive war crimes? But let me show you guys what these people said. I can't help myself. I got to show you guys this before I leave.
Elect Donald Trump has laid out positions toward allies and adversaries that depart sharply from U.S. foreign policy by most of his predecessors from both political parties, embracing Vladimir Putin and other dictators, Viktor Orban, around the world, opposing the war in Ukraine, disavowing U.S. intelligence assessments and career diplomats.
You telling me these motherfuckers don't want Donald Trump to win? That sounds like a campaign ad for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is rebuking the intelligence agencies. Donald Trump is going to war with the CIA. Donald Trump wants to end the Ukraine war. You guys wondering why Trump was lost? You guys make this motherfucker sound like a superhero. Donald Trump is getting close to Vladimir Putin. Based as hell to me. Sounds good to me, motherfucker. Who are they running? And meanwhile, they pretend that Trump is buddying up to dictators. That is the United States every single day when they buddy up with Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. That is the United States every single day with their relationship in the UK. I just had a UK journalist on. You guys know there's effectively no free speech in the UK. They are waging war against journalists like Richard Medders and many others in the UK. Russian journalists in the Russian perspective is banned. Australia is going through a wave of authoritarianism. Germany essentially banned all acts of anti-Zionism. They banned pro-Palestinian protesters. They're locking up people for the social media posts criticizing Israel. But you think Viktor Orban is the authoritarian? Do you guys see the childlike mentality of the average liberal? They think Viktor Orban is a dictator. They think Xi Jinping is a dictator. As the UK and Germany lock motherfuckers up because they criticize a genocidal apartheid state. Bro, if you decolonize your mind, you will go crazy in the West. Do you guys see how I look at people who fit in this society? You motherfuckers are crazy. How do you guys not see these massive holes in the narratives that the news tells us that I see as clear as day? I'm always in the lab cooking, seeing through these frauds. Viktor Orban. They think Viktor Orban. They teaming up with fucking Keir Starmer, a fucking Zionist tyrant who funding genocide, but they want you to hate Viktor fucking Orban. Please explain to me, my friends. Anyway, let's continue. I made 20 seconds. 20 seconds without a rant, boys.
Positions toward allies and adversaries that depart sharply from U.S. foreign policy by most of his predecessors from both political parties, embracing Vladimir Putin and other dictators, Viktor Orban, around the world, opposing the war in Ukraine, disavowing U.S. intelligence assessments and career diplomats. And when he was in the Oval Office, starting a trade war with China. Some world leaders are celebrating Trump's victory, while others are trying to put on a brave face. Joining the discussion now is NBC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel. Richard, there is a divide. Europe very worried. The Persian Gulf leaders, MBS and others in Saudi Arabia.
By the way, I have to be clear to you guys. They are making this up. This entire thing of European allies being worried about Donald Trump, the NATO chief, the same way as Zelensky, the same way as Israel, the same way as Keir Starmer, the same way as Emmanuel Macron, they all put out statements that say they are looking forward to working with Donald Trump. And I understand that you may say that they must say that as diplomats, but their public position is that they have no problem with Donald Trump. So when they say that Europe is afraid of Donald Trump, that is pure conjecture. That is pure made-up anecdotal bullshit that you cannot prove. But sorry, let me continue.
And UAE are delighted. They have been, very upset with Democrats ever since Barack Obama was in the White House. And they are very pleased with Donald Trump.
I don't think there's too many people sitting on the fence. You either love him or you hate him. And if you love him,
Netanyahu has embraced him and already
Netanyahu is having the best day probably in the last year.
So now you care about the kind of day that Netanyahu is having? So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, who gave Benjamin Netanyahu every single weapon, arms, and ammunition you need to carry out the genocide. As you had the Biden administration smear the UN Special Rapporteur looking into Gaza, who classified Israel's action as a genocide, the position of the Biden administration is that she, in the entirety of the UN, who criticized the Israel genocide, their position is that they're anti-Semitic. The position of the Biden administration is that the ICC trial against Benjamin Netanyahu was illegitimate. The Biden administration allowed Benjamin Netanyahu to travel to the United States and give a speech to Congress while he had an arrest warrant from the ICC. But the liberal class wants you to be convinced that Benjamin Netanyahu is just now benefiting from the presidency now that Donald Trump is winning. This is the kind of stupidity that you guys repeat on the daily, and you are wondering why you lost the popular vote. You're wondering why people my age view the Democratic Party with disdain. It's the way you insult the intelligence of the American people that you truly expect us to believe this shit. And yeah, I see Zoya send me that. I saw where you there it is. Oh Jesus Christ! What? Oh Jesus Christ! Please tell me this is true. Please tell me this is true. Because I read reports this morning because Benjamin Netanyahu fired his foreign minister, Gallant. You know, Israel firing their foreign minister. These are surely things that countries do when things are going well for them, right? I made a hotspot. You guys seen it on YouTube, on Twitter, where I explain how the Israeli Zionist entity is on its last legs. You guys thought I was lying, didn't you? You guys thought I was lying. I told you guys that Benjamin Netanyahu and the Zionist regime is on their last legs. You don't fire your foreign minister when things are going well. So Benjamin Netanyahu fired his foreign minister. So now they're apparently an ongoing, exploding, potential military coup against Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, this is like the closest I ever came to converting to religion because this is how satisfying. This week is so satisfying, I almost converted to Christianity. This week is so satisfying. I'm damn near about thank Jesus. Pray to Muhammad. I'm not trying to be offensive. Hopefully, I'm not being offensive. I respect anyone. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying, how satisfying is this week that not only do we get to witness the Zionist, genocidal liberal class lose, we get to witness Kamala and the Democratic Party lose, and now we get to witness a military coup against Israel. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. This is so good. There's no way that we could have prepared ourselves. There is nothing we could have done to prepare our body for how absolutely satisfying this week was going to be. Like, I knew it was going to be something, you know what I mean? But there's nothing that could have prepared us for how glorious this week will be for our being. I told you guys, the election is the tip of the iceberg of the crazy shit about to pop off this next year. We're going to see the complete collapse of Ukraine. We are already seeing NATO invade Russia. We have NATO that drew up a plan to go with war with China by 2027. We're going to see a lot of crazy shit. And MAGA, the ball's on your court. Good luck handling this shit, bro. Good luck handling the rise of BRICS. Good luck, MAGA, handling Israel dissenting into a military coup right after your boy got elected. Ah, this is glorious. And we still got the RBN roundtable tomorrow. So I guess we wrap up. I didn't really get far into this, huh? I'll play a little bit more of this and then I'm announce we have a super mega stream tomorrow. So fuck, I don't know why I'm going so long today, considering I've been pretty much only have 4 hours of sleep. This is like my fourth stream in 12 hours. But let's watch a little bit more of this stream. Oh, god damn it. I got super chats. Let me watch a little bit more of this clip, and then we do super chats.
Oh, has embraced him and already.
Netanyahu is having the best day probably in the last year.
Oh yeah, that was the part where I race quit. So they were pretending that Benjamin Netanyahu is just now benefiting, and now this is why we said that the Democrats are the most effective evil, because the same liberals that were deactivated at the crimes of Israel, because Biden and Democrats was in charge, these are the same people who are going to be investigative journalists looking into the crimes of Israel once Donald Trump becomes president.
Who has made it quite clear that he wants a new vision for the Middle East. He believes that Donald Trump is going to, help take him there. It's a vision of the Middle East in which Iran is significantly diminished. Maybe regime change in Iran, maybe attacking their oil facilities and energy facilities, which President Biden had explicitly said no to.
I'll let it play, but you guys see how they're pretending that now we're going to have tough on Iran policies if Donald Trump wins, and now you're concerned about it? Kamala Harris was running this election, and she was pitching Donald Trump as the candidate that was weak on Iran. Donald Trump was Kamala was criticizing Trump for being too weak on Iran. Now they're like, oh my God, this is horrible. We can't let Trump win or we're going to have regime change in Iran. Motherfucker, that is what you guys have been advocating for. That's why you guys are celebrating Iranian women having mental health illnesses and stripping naked in public. You guys are cheering for regime change in Iran. Now you're going to pretend it's a bad thing because Trump is in charge. But anyway, I'll let it play a little bit more. I'll play a little bit more. I'll be right back.
We'll see about a ceasefire in Gaza, but I don't know if you noticed a couple of days ago, Jared Kushner put out a tweet saying he doesn't support a ceasefire, that now is a historic opportunity not to have a ceasefire and go back to the way things they were, but to transform the Middle East and enact this new vision of a Middle East with diminished Iran, diminished Hezbollah, diminished Hamas, a new kind of Middle East with the United States, President Trump, and Netanyahu working in lockstep to get there.
And Palestinian rights, which the Saudis paid lip service to at first and then more fully embraced.
So now MSNBC cares about Palestinian rights. You guys hear this? They never mentioned Palestinian rights under Biden. Now you care about an unhinged foreign policy that cares about weakening Iran and Hezbollah and the Palestinians, you are essentially repeating the foreign policy of Anthony Blinken and presenting it to your audience as this new idea that Donald Trump is going to do uniquely. Do you guys see the levels of propaganda that is infecting the minds of not only just the average American, but this is what Cenk Uygur believes. Like when you see Nina Turner, Cenk Uygur, Kyle Kulinski, Crystal Ball, when they repeat this narrative that Trump will be worse, what are they getting that from? They getting it from corporate media. They will never admit it. They will never say it out loud. But people who think they are not brainwashed by corporate media, they actually are. They don't realize it, which is why we do these propaganda segments. The same people who think they are extremely skeptical of the Washington Post, CIA, and mainstream narratives, these are the first motherfuckers who will believe everything they say about North Korea. These are the same motherfuckers who believe everything they say about socialism. So the same people who think they're skeptical about the mainstream media is actually not skeptical as they believe they are. I'm telling you guys that right now. But let me finish this last part. Why the hell am I doing a 2.5 hour stream? What the fuck is wrong with me? What is wrong with me, Zoya? Zoya, what is wrong with me? Let me finish this last clip because this clip is audacious and I want to read super chats.
Diminished Iran, diminished Hezbollah, diminished Hamas, a new kind of Middle East with the United States, President Trump, and Netanyahu working in lockstep to get there.
And Palestinian rights, which the Saudis paid lip service to at first and then more fully embraced because after the uproar over Gaza and the way Palestinian civilians were treated, they had to as the price for normalization with Israel. But certainly King Abdullah and Jordan and others, and maybe even the Saudis. King Abdullah has to because of the Palestinian population and him being next door to the West Bank. But Palestinian rights, particularly in Gaza, much less important. And then Zelensky.
I'm going to end it there. Do you guys hear what she just said? She said, and she implied that Palestinian rights in Gaza no longer matters now that Donald Trump is in charge. You mean the people that Biden and Kamala slaughtered? What Gaza? Gaza is leveled right now. We're going to see hundreds of thousands more deaths based on the people who are suffering from disease, the polio outbreak, starvation. The people who are going to succumb to their wounds. Gaza is destroyed right now, shit libs. And it happened under a Democrat, not under Donald Trump. And this here is the perfect example. Thank you, MSNBC. This is exactly what we've been telling you guys, and exactly why we need Democrats to lose. Because I have been watching corporate media. You guys know. You guys make fun of how much I watch corporate media ever since I have this position as a citizen journalist. And I am telling you, as someone who's been watching this issue and watching so many of these Israeli propaganda segments from MSNBC, I promise to God, I have never seen these motherfuckers ever talk about Palestinian rights. I never ever seen them show sympathy toward the Palestinian people. And now that Donald Trump wins, all of a sudden they talking about Palestinian rights. Now do you guys see why it's better when Republicans win? Because the same liberals who are deactivated, hell, that's not even accurate. They're not even just deactivated. They are activated agents of the establishment because they don't want you to hurt the midterms. So the same liberals who are against us, who mocked and threatened and attacked my Palestinian comrades for speaking out against the genocide of their people, they was harassed and attacked by liberals over the course of the last year. And now that Donald Trump wins, now they're going to pretend they care about Palestinian rights. Do you see how morally psychotic, how absolutely psychotic the liberal class is? Truly unbelievable. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know why I went. I have no idea why I went this long. I'll read super chats. I think I played I made my point here. This is literally another 8 minutes of hell. We only made 10. This is 8 minutes of pure hell. This segment is. I don't want to keep her face up here. I'll put my Twitter page up here while I go through some super chats. We got almost 3,000 people, 2,900 people watching across all social media. You guys see I'm live on X. X is popping. Where's the X is very confused on desktop. So yeah, what's popping? Look, what's popping? So I'll read super chats because we got actually quite a few. I appreciate the support, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna have another banger stream. I'm gonna announce that. I start from the bottom because I'm a little bit behind. Tomorrow, there wasn't supposed to be the super stream, but I went live for 2 hours because there's been too much happening. Tomorrow is the post-election RBN celebration stream, decompression stream. I like that name, Zoya. Jill Stein will be joining us. We'll be discussing Jill Stein's thoughts post-election. Shama Sawant will be joining us as well. I was live with Shama Sawant on her channel, Worker Strike Back YouTube channel. If you guys missed me there last night, I was also on Pasta's show, and that was very fun because I was debating and sparring with them a little bit about RFK Jr. You guys know I love a debate. I love intellectual challenge, especially among friends. So if you guys haven't seen my interview with Pasta, make sure you guys check that out because it was a pretty glorious roundtable. So Sharma, Joe Stein, Mark Kimberly tomorrow, and that's our mega live stream, RBN Roundtable. Derek Bronze on Friday. So Jesus. Let me read super chats. Trump won. Nobody will be hoping for an increase in Palestinian corpses more than the people who justify their support for Harris by insisting Trump will be worse. Absolutely. Of course they will deny this. I couldn't get all of them, but dude, there's so many of these psychotic tweets. I wonder if I can find one of them. I know I was liking so much tweets today. There's so many psychotic tweets from liberals essentially fantasizing about the death of Arab Americans and Latinos because Trump won. It's so they don't even realize how evil they are. I can't find any examples, so just take my word for it for now. I know you guys see them as well. Get some music in, rest, stay strong. Thank you, Kat. I told Zoya I'm gonna take a break, but then I end up doing a 2.5 hour streams. Big shout out to Deborah for being a new member. I saw this on Corner Eye just pop in. Thank you, Tiberius Monk. When does Kamala become unburdened by what has been? Also, this speech is sponsored by Doritos because Doritos Kamala campaign lacks any value. Appreciate the super chats. The significance of Kamala has been unburdened by the people. You guys are clowning today. You guys are having just as much fun in the chat as I am, apparently. Appreciate you, Cooper, for the memberships. Another one from Eric. I've seen a deluge of liberal tears, but not a drop for Palestinians. Yep. This is my banger I see now. I'm glad that this tweet is doing well because this is my response. Like, bro, I promise you, if you're not on X, you're missing probably the greatest meltdown we have seen, at least since 2016. Because I mentioned this earlier. You had liberals talking about how Trump winning again, faith in humanity killed, all that stuff. These same people are legitimately psychopaths because they talk about how their faith in humanity is killed because a prosecutor, a millionaire, warmonger lost the election. Oh, Jesus Christ, is that for real? You guys are literally breaking news. Ola Yemi. Someone, please confirm this for me. Please. Olayemi is the person who immediately blocked me, even though I never said anything to her, because she made the calculated decision, like, because she was acknowledged by AOC, she was pretending to be a radical abolitionist. I interviewed her before because of that. I interviewed her as an abolitionist on RBN before. And then the second she got noticed by the TYT left, the second she got noticed by the Majority Report, and she was put on the cringe leftist mafia, and then AOC acknowledged her. AOC gave her a public shout out, and the second that AOC acknowledged Olayemi, she was like, all right, guys, I'm out of here. She was the fastest sellout that I've ever seen, to the point where she was sloppy. Like, she didn't like casually lean into the sellout. She sold out so aggressively that Black Twitter got on her ass that she was exposed. So she blocked me like offensively because she's like, bro, I gotta block RBN before they go after me. She blocked the entirety of the Black left. And Olayemi was literally just dining with David Doe, Mike Figueredo, and she started dining with the white boys that left this mafia because she lost all credibility among Black Twitter. And now I'm being told that she deleted her Twitter account. What a week! What a week, my friends. What a goddamn week I could not, my body was not ready. There is no way I could have prepared myself for all the good news. The only thing that would be better news if you told me the Vanguard quit. Please tell me the Vanguard shut their YouTube channel. That'd be the only, we need that news next. We have Cenk Uygur melting down, David Doe quitting, Olayemi deleting her Twitter account. Oh man, this is truly too much, man. Truly too much. Nick, we need masterclass politics. Hillary Clinton. Man, let me finish the super chat. This has been a long stream. Kamala lost 14 million votes compared to Biden. Apparently, bombing and killing children is not good. Election strategy, not a good strategy. What was I? One doesn't get a position of power in the empire and hold it unless they are corrupt. Very well said. I heard Destiny bet huge on Kamala. Imagine having Trump derangement syndrome, then losing to Trump, and then also losing the mortgage as well. We told him fuck around and you find out. Olayemi says she didn't give a shit about Assange because he's white. That is literally exactly what you would expect from a bourgeoisie class loyal infiltrator that tries to weaken the left. It's a story as old as time. These Black liberal academic motherfuckers who literally destroy class solidarity, and they trample on leftist anti-imperialist values under the guise of liberal identity politics. And this is the kind of stuff we snuff out from Olayemi, which is why I stopped inviting her, which led to her preventively blocking me. I may have threw a shade or two because she was, oh, Jesus Christ, that's so funny. American liberals wanted Kamala so badly because under Dems, only Black people suffer. Under Trump, everyone suffers. That is exactly what a point that Black leftists and Black radicals like myself have said. You motherfuckers are fearing Trump. Motherfucker, we survived Trump. We survived way worse than Trump. What are you guys talking about? You guys worry about Trump? The fuck? That never made sense to me. Never made sense to me. Apparently, Black and Hispanic men made Biden give Trump a 9-month head start over Kamala. Then we forced Kamala to botch all her interviews. Yeah. and never the fault of the ruling class and the fault of the voters. There's so many of these tweets from liberal blue check saying that. Let me see if I can find something. Failed her. Because there was so many of these tweets that was saying, oh, it's not Kamala's fault. Kamala ran a great campaign. It's the American people who failed her. Oh man, I wish I had a more liberal algorithm. I should save a lot of these. Anyway, let's move on. But that's what they're saying. It's cope. Kamala had the worst presidential campaign in my lifetime. I agree. To think the establishment attempt to install Kamala is a joke, I proudly voted for Stein because genocide is my red line. Hashtag third party. Well said. And I think I'm caught up here. Thank you for the generous super chat, Tiffany. The Dems ran on saving democracy, but didn't have a Democratic primary. I'm glad Trump won this. Voted for Stein in solidarity with abandoned Harris. So this was the hope for outcome. Thank you for this show and speaking out against injustice. I appreciate you guys for watching. It's not as easy as it looks to rant into a camera for 2.5 hours. I don't know. I'm a fucking psychopath, apparently. I appreciate you guys for watching me, though. My wife became an AOC liberal after the 2016 primary. She is acting as if a relative died today. And now AOC will be forced to engage in resistance nonsense again. Remember how AOC said the quiet part out loud? Well, she was like, oh man, I don't want to do another 4 years of resistance nonsense. Like, bitch, you better take your ass back to the border. You better take your ass back to the border, do another goddamn photo shoot again. Get Cory Bush, do another fake protest at the Washington Steps again. You back to square one, motherfucker. Kamala kept saying, yeah, I think this is what I caught up at now. Kamala kept saying, I'm speaking during her campaign. Well, the people, including the relatives of those killed in Gaza, have spoken too. You are done. Absolutely. That's will be known as a historical gaffe by Kamala. So thank you guys for watching this stream. I'll be back tomorrow with my RBN family, with Dr. Jill Stein, with Mark Kimberly, with Shama Sawan. There's a lot to reflect on. We need to figure out a way to activate people into voting against a two-party duopoly. I know a lot of people are sad that the Green Party didn't get 5%, wasn't even close. But electoral politics is just one small percent, guys. One very small asset. Do not allow this election to trick you. It would have been great if the Green Party got 5%. Our goal was to organize an anti-genocide coalition that fights beyond the election. So the percent that Jill Stein got was an indicator of how successful we was potentially being of building that. But it is literally nonsense, and it's a game, and our work continue way past this election, which is why I plan on taking a break, because you guys understand, our work just starts, guys. It's time to organize against MAGA. It's time to organize against the Zionist regime. And now that we have this anti-genocide coalition that's forming, you and we will use this to push more mutual aid. I'll be in Seattle with Shama Sawan on I think it's February. We're having a big call to action. The point is, I will continue to work with Shama. I'll continue to work with Stein. We're going to continue to work with these people to mobilize a resistance against Zionism and an incoming MAGA authoritarian mob. that will be class loyal to the Elon Musk, to the capitalist class. Oh, y'all like that? I see this comment from inside my eye. Let's take a break and then let's begin a new revival of the Black Panthers Party. You guys know RBN been through a lot this year. You know what I mean? Rome is going through a lot as well. I'm down 2 out of the 3 founders. But that doesn't mean my work stops, guys. My plan is to revitalize the RBN chapters, get us in the streets, get us organized, and get us ready to actually implement positive change. And that's what the YouTube channel is all about. So even though we laugh and we cry, we have to get ready for the fight that has to come in the coming weeks and next year. It's coming, guys. We're getting mobilized seriously. So hope you guys are ready to organize with me and not just watch me on YouTube, not just follow me on Twitter, but let's get serious and let's start organizing against the incoming Zionist, fascist, MAGA mob. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Have a good one. Peace out.